Hello and welcome, fellow adventurers, to our thrilling journey through the world of superheroes and supervillains. Today, we embark on an exciting journey filled with action, suspense, and unexpected twists. Join us as we delve into the heart of the superhero universe, where alliances are tested and destinies are forged. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling content. Let the adventure begin. Justice League vs. Suicide Squad Vol. 1. In the searing heat of Death Valley, California, the fortified Catacombs prison stands ominously against the desert landscape. Known for housing the most dangerous supervillains from other worlds, it is a place of fear and silence, broken only by the occasional hum of the security systems. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the prison, a figure shrouded in darkness approaches the heavily guarded entrance. The figure's movements are deliberate and confident, as if they belong there. The guards, trained to respond to any threat, spring into action. "Halt! Turn back immediately!" one of them commands. Ignoring the warning, the mysterious person raises a hand, and an invisible force washes over the guards. Their eyes glaze over, and a chilling smile spreads across the intruder's face. "Kill each other," the intruder whispers, their voice dripping with malevolence. The guards, now puppets under mind control, turn their weapons on each other in a brutal display of violence, leaving a gruesome scene in their wake. The intruder steps over the bodies and makes their way deeper into the prison, where the most secure cells are located. As they enter the cell block, the fluorescent lights flicker, casting eerie shadows on the cold concrete walls. The prison doctor, a man of science and routine, is stationed behind the control desk. His face pales as he recognizes the intruder, fear gripping his heart. "Stop! You don't understand how dangerous these prisoners are," the doctor pleads, his voice trembling. The intruder, with a calm and almost serene expression, replies, "I believe in second chances. Now, doctor, open the doors of the cells." The doctor hesitates, his hand hovering over the control panel. But the intruder's eyes bore into his, and the doctor's will crumbles under the mental assault. With a shaky hand, he presses the button, and the sound of heavy metallic doors creaking open echoes through the prison. Alarms blare as the prison task force rushes in, weapons ready, determined to stop the impending chaos. But they are too late. The cell doors swing wide open, releasing a horde of superhuman prisoners. With terrifying powers and years of pent-up rage, the prisoners unleash their fury on the task force. Energy blasts, monstrous strength, and otherworldly abilities turn the prison into a war zone. Screams fill the air and blood splatters across the walls. The prison doctor, now cowering behind the control desk, watches in horror as the prisoners tear through the task force. "Please, spare me," he begs, tears streaming down his face. But mercy is not on the agenda. One of the supervillains, a hulking brute with fists like sledgehammers, sneers at the doctor's plea. With a single devastating blow, the villain causes an explosion that rips through the prison. The shockwave incinerates the doctor, leaving only a charred skeleton behind. Amidst the chaos and destruction, the prisoners gather around. Together, they stride through the smoldering ruins of the prison, disappearing into the night. A few days later, on the sandy shores of Badnesia Island, the Suicide Squad finds themselves embroiled in a fierce battle. Led by Deadshot, the infamous marksman with unparalleled precision, the team clashes with a ruthless criminal cult. Gunfire and explosions echo across the beach as Deadshot and his team fight their way through the relentless cultists. Meanwhile, far away at the Belle Reve Penitentiary in Louisiana, Amanda Waller, the cold and calculating government agent overseeing the Suicide Squad, watches the chaos unfold from the control room. Her eyes are fixed on the monitors, each displaying different angles of the brutal skirmish on Badnesia Island. Suddenly, the door to the control room bursts open. Rick Flag storms in, his face a mask of fury. "I was supposed to lead the Suicide Squad on missions. Why wasn't I informed about this one?" he demands, his voice echoing through the room. Without tearing her gaze from the screens, Amanda Waller responds with icy indifference. "This mission required quick action. I couldn't waste time." Flag's anger flares. "But you sent Caitlin Snow, known as Killer Frost, on this mission. She's inexperienced and dangerously ruthless." "I needed her for this mission," Waller replies, her tone dismissive. Rick Flag's frustration is palpable. "What is this mission about?" Amanda Waller finally turns to face him, her expression unreadable. "A criminal cult called the Brimstone Brotherhood has stolen a Quake Pulsar device from STAR Labs. The device can create massive, devastating earthquakes. The Brotherhood, led by a man named Apex, plans to use it to destroy the entire Badnesia Island as a sacrifice to their god." She continues, "There's a secret USA base on Badnesia Island. That's why the island is crucial to us. We must stop them." Rick Flag's fists clench in anger. "Fine, I'm going there. Whether they succeed in their mission or not, they'll need a pickup," he says, turning on his heel and leaving the control room, his anger simmering. Back on the beach of Badnesia Island, the Suicide Squad engages in a brutal clash with the Brimstone Brotherhood cult. The squad, a motley crew of notorious supervillains, fights fiercely. Killer Croc tears through the cult members with her sharp claws, leaving a trail of devastation. Harley Quinn wields her giant sledgehammer with manic glee, crushing the heads of anyone who dares to approach. Deadshot, perched on a higher vantage point, takes precise shots, picking off cultists with deadly accuracy. Enchantress, her eyes glowing with supernatural power, casts devastating spells, disintegrating her enemies with dark magic. Killer Frost freezes cultists in their tracks, her icy breath turning them into statues. Captain Boomerang, with a wicked grin, throws his razor-sharp boomerangs, slicing throats with ease. He tries to catch Killer Frost's attention, making a move to touch her. El Diablo intercepts, warning him, "Be careful what you're touching. One touch from Killer Frost will freeze you and kill you." Captain Boomerang laughs. "Wow, boy, I love dangerous women." As the battle rages on, Harley Quinn continues her violent spree, swinging her sledgehammer with wild abandon, smashing cultists left and right. Meanwhile, far above the Earth in the Justice League's watchtower, Batman, the Dark Knight, holds a crucial meeting with the Justice League. The government, in a secret project named Task Force X, has created a team of villains for impossible and deadly missions. They call this team the Suicide Squad because they undertake dangerous tasks for the government. Aquaman, the King of Atlantis, interjects. "I've heard of this before, Batman. I believe this will restore honor among these thieves." Batman shakes his head. "This is what they want us to think. If these villains are caught, it will be considered just another one of their criminal activities, and no one will blame the government." Simon Baz, a member of the Green Lantern Corps, adds, "And no one will investigate further." Superman, with his arms crossed, says, "If something happens to these villains, the government will certainly deny any cooperation." Batman nods in agreement. The Flash, the fastest man alive, speaks up. "How can we ensure any kind of justice when criminals are being given a hall pass?" "Who is behind this project?" "Amanda Waller," Batman replies. "She's a high-ranking government official." Flash's face contorts with anger. "This is not the right way. Criminals should be rehabilitated, not misused by the government. We've stopped these villains countless times, not knowing they'd serve Amanda Waller after their arrest. Jessica Cruz, another member of the Green Lantern Corps, asks, why don't these villains just escape? Wonder Woman, Princess of the Amazons, responds, maybe they can't escape because Amanda Waller is controlling them. Batman confirms, yes, she believes she can control these villains, but she's wrong. Suddenly, Cyborg interrupts, Batman, my scanners have identified the activities of the Suicide Squad on Badnesia Island. The Justice League prepares themselves. With resolve in their hearts, they set their sights on Badnesia Island, ready to bring justice and order to the chaos. The sun bore down on the sands of Badnesia Island, casting long shadows as the Suicide Squad trudged along the beach, their victory over the Brimstone Brotherhood sect still fresh in their minds. With every step, the weight of their mission pressed heavier upon them, for they knew that their journey was far from over. Their destination loomed ahead, the heart of the island, where Apex, the nefarious leader of the sect, awaited. As they ventured deeper into the island's interior, the air grew thick with tension, a palpable sense of unease settling over them like a suffocating fog. It was as though the very island itself sensed their presence, and it recoiled in anticipation of the chaos to come. Suddenly, without warning, the earth began to tremble beneath their feet, sending shock waves rippling through the ground. The Suicide Squad staggered and stumbled, struggling to maintain their footing as the world around them descended into chaos. Amidst the cacophony of rumbling earth and crashing waves, a voice pierced the tumult, cold and menacing. I hope you enjoyed killing the brothers, it sneered, because this is your last work on Earth. From the shadows emerged Apex, the sinister leader of the Brimstone Brotherhood sect, his twisted visage illuminated by the sickly glow of the Quake Pulsar device he clutched in his hand. His eyes glinted with malice as he spoke, his voice dripping with contempt. I will destroy this island, and your lives will be gifts to our God, he declared, his words laced with venom. The Suicide Squad sprang into action, their every movement a testament to their determination to stop Apex at any cost. But, try as they might, they could not halt the inexorable march of destruction that Apex had set into motion. Desperate, Harley Quinn reached out to Amanda Waller, her voice tinged with panic. We need to get out of here, she pleaded, but Waller's response was swift and uncompromising. Finish it or I will finish you, she commanded, her voice as cold and unyielding as steel. El Diablo's fury blazed like the fires of hell itself as he unleashed torrents of flame upon Apex. But the sect leader remained undeterred, his resolve unshaken. I will see this island swallowed by the ocean. This is end of us, he bellowed, his voice rising above the din of destruction. This is the end, Apex sneers, his voice dripping with contempt as the island trembled and shook beneath their feet. A single gunshot rang out, cutting through the chaos like a clarion call. Apex stumbled, the Quake Pulsar slipping from his grasp as he collapsed to the ground. A look of shock and disbelief etched upon his face. Deadshot, perched atop a nearby building, lowered his smoking gun. A grim satisfaction etched on his face as he made contact with Amanda Waller. Mission accomplished, Waller. His voice crackled over the comms, relief evident in his tone. As the Suicide Squad basks in the relief of Deadshot's swift actions and their narrow escape, the ground beneath them trembles with renewed violence. Panic sets in as the building housing Deadshot teeters dangerously on the edge of collapse, leaving the squad helpless, mere spectators to their comrades' impending fate. With a sinking feeling in their hearts, they watch as Deadshot, trapped on the crumbling rooftop, desperately seeks an escape route. But as the structure gives way, hope seems lost, and Deadshot resigns himself to what he believes will be his final moments. Clutching his daughter's photograph tightly, Deadshot's voice wavers with regret as he murmurs, "I'm sorry, my daughter. I can't see you anymore." With a final, defiant vow, he adds, "I'll see you in hell, Amanda Waller." As the building collapses around him, Deadshot plummets towards certain doom. But before he can meet his end, a streak of red and blue swoops in to save him. Superman's majestic form intercepts Deadshot's fall, his reassuring words cutting through the chaos. "Not today, Deadshot." Meanwhile, the other members of the Justice League spring into action, securing the collapsing building and evacuating its residents with unparalleled efficiency. In the midst of the chaos, Superman gently sets Deadshot down beside the rest of the Suicide Squad, returning the photograph of Deadshot's daughter with a simple "Deadshot! You dropped this!" "Thank you. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have to go," Deadshot replies, his focus unwavering. But before they can depart, the rest of the Justice League, led by Batman, joins Superman. "Not so fast, Deadshot. The Suicide Squad must disband, and you must come with us," Batman declares sternly. Harley, ever the provocateur, interjects with a humorous tone. "Batman, that's a tall order for us." Batman's response is firm. "This is not a request," he states definitively. Deadshot attempts to diffuse the tension. "I believe there's a misunderstanding, Batman," he says calmly. Batman remains resolute. "There's no misunderstanding, Deadshot. We know you're working for Amanda Waller. She sent you into this disaster, and if we hadn't intervened, you would have died in that building with innocent people. Waller is using you for her own ends. We can help you," Batman explains, his voice steady. A verbal clash erupts between the two teams, tension thickening with each passing moment. Deadshot, feeling the weight of Waller's command, contacts her for guidance. "What should we do?" Deadshot asks, his voice tinged with urgency. Waller's response is chillingly direct. "Engage with the Justice League and defeat them, or die," she commands. Deadshot's resolve strengthens. "You heard what Waller said," he announces to the Suicide Squad, his tone unwavering. As tensions reach a boiling point, Deadshot raises his weapon towards Batman, prompting a furious response. "Pointing your gun at me is a grave mistake," Batman warns, his voice edged with anger. Deadshot counters, "Every day we wake up, we fight without expecting to see tomorrow. The difference between us and the Justice League is that you don't kill anyone, but the Suicide Squad does." Before words can escalate further, Deadshot fires at Batman, who narrowly dodges the shot. The confrontation ignites a fierce battle between the Justice League and the Suicide Squad, both sides unleashing their superhuman powers in a clash of titans. Meanwhile, in the dimly lit halls of the castle nestled within the Swiss Alps, a clandestine meeting unfolds, shrouded in secrecy and intrigue. Maxwell Lord, the enigmatic mastermind behind escape of supervillains from the high-security Catacombs prison, stands at the center of the gathering, his piercing gaze fixed upon the assembled villains. Before him stand Dr. Polaris, his magnetic powers crackling with untamed energy. Johnny Sorrow, a spectral figure cloaked in shadows. Rustam, a formidable warrior with a thirst for vengeance. Lobo, the intergalactic bounty hunter with a penchant for chaos. And Emerald Empress, her eyes ablaze with the power of her mystical emerald eye. With a sly grin, Maxwell Lord addresses the group, his voice dripping with persuasive charm. "My fellow comrades, we stand on the precipice of greatness," he begins, his words echoing off the stone walls. "Together we possess the power to reshape the world in our image." As murmurs of agreement ripple through the room, Maxwell Lord's gaze hardens, his tone taking on a more sinister edge. "But first we must eliminate the one who stands in our way," he declares, his eyes narrowing on a holographic projection of Amanda Waller. The villains exchange knowing glances, their thirst for revenge palpable in the air. "Waller has imprisoned us, tortured us, stripped us of our freedom," Dr. Polaris snarls, his voice laced with bitterness. "It's time we show her the error of her ways." With a nod of approval, Maxwell Lord leans in closer, his voice low and conspiratorial. "If you help me achieve my goal, I will ensure that you have the power and resources to exact your vengeance," he promises, his words a tantalizing offer of liberation. The supervillains nod in agreement, their allegiance sealed with a silent vow of loyalty. "What is it that you desire, Maxwell?" Rustam inquires, his voice echoing with anticipation. A wicked grin spreads across Maxwell Lord's face as he reveals his ultimate ambition. "I seek to change the world," he declares, his eyes burning with fervor. "To rid it of those who would oppress us and usher in a new era of dominance." As the meeting draws to a close, Maxwell Lord's words hang in the air, a promise of upheaval and chaos on the horizon. And with the stage set for their nefarious scheme to unfold, the villains depart, their minds ablaze with visions of conquest and retribution. But as the shadows lengthen and the echoes of their whispered plans fade into the night, one thing remains certain. The adventure has only just begun, and the fate of the world hangs in the balance. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling adventure. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed the journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time, stay tuned and keep the adventure alive.